could be the night. If he proposed, by next Monday the Times would share the news with all of England, and her mother would be over the moon with delight. The grand Palladian-style mansion glowed with candlelight reflected by gilt furnishings, French satin, and family jewels. No garish gaslight would intrude on this grand gathering. They paused in the doorway as their names were announced, and Sarah took a deep breath. Her mother's hand on her elbow reminded her of decorum's demands, but she couldn't help scanning the faces looking for him as they moved forward. She had to greet their host and hostess, the Earl of Sunderland and his Countess Lady Maribel, and then to acknowledge the sundry others of rank and precedence before she would be free to join him. It was the final major event of an unusually long season and, coincidentally, his birthday. She held the flat, ribbon-wrapped box at her side, now wishing she had waited to give it to him, or at least had chosen less conspicuous wrappings. Smiles, continental kisses, and handshakes distracted her as she paid duty to all the proper people. Mercifully, her mother absorbed most of the attention, answering queries about married daughters and a forthcoming grandchild. She managed to steal away and enter the ballroom proper, smoothing her rich blue gown and her long kidskin gloves. Heads turned, and whispers began as she made her way around the room, scanning the glittering crowd until she spotted him. It would be crass, under so many searching eyes, to rush to his side. She had to let him come to her. As she paused to exchange greetings with an older couple, he turned, slowly, toward her. That dark hair, those aquiline features, that easy smile, were attached by an arm to a dark-haired woman in a pale yellow gown. She was a slow-eyed beauty with olive skin and a demure smile that seemed oddly knowing. As the pair turned, his gaze swept across the ballroom and passed over Sarah without the slightest glint of recognition. She stood, with leaden limbs and a racing heart, as one of the Earl's boisterous, dark-haired companions pointed to her and asked the Earl something. He turned with a half-smile and replied in Italian before escorting the woman on his arm across the ballroom toward her. "There you are," he said a bit too loudly, before speaking in what she recognized as Italian to his voluptuous companion. "Mi amore, vi presento Signorina Sarah Bumgarten." The woman said something in a dry tone that sounded like, "Sono, in effetti, incantata," to her, which might have meant either enchanted or eat grass, you cow, in her language. He nodded before turning to Sarah. "My dear girl, I would have you meet Signorina Ave Marie Lombardi, of Florence, soon to be my countess." Words, always her obliging servants, utterly failed her. She looked between them and forced a brittle smile, hoping to hide the fact that her heart was shattering into a million pieces. She managed a sociable lie about the pleasure of making the woman's acquaintance, and watched helplessly as Terence's Italian bride turned to him and said something that set the Italians around them smirking. She caught two words that were appallingly similar in English, dollaro and principessa. She backed a step and brought her hands up defensively, realizing too late that they held the gift she had brought. "Ah." The Lombardi creature pounced on that mistake with icy amusement, focusing on that pretty blue paper and brilliant yellow bow. "E così per lui? Eri una bambina tanto dolce." Bambina. She had read enough of Dante and other Italian classics to know she had just been called a child.